sunburnt. I didn't realise I had my sleeves up and I shouldn't have done that. I got burnt. I also got burnt in the face too. I'm going to have to wear a wide rim hat because I'm actually going out to the range again tomorrow. Tomorrow there's going to be a, sorry, I'm just going to towel myself down, man, it's stinking hot. I've got the overhead fan going too, so sorry about the noise. Yeah, so tomorrow I'll be going back to the range, and because one of the range masters, Paul, he's a bench rest guy, and he asked like the regulars, a lot of the regulars, do you want to come and shoot just casual, sort of casual bench rest, which is he considers it sort of like practice for competition, because we're going to be shooting along proper competition regulations, but it's not a formal competition, which is good because it's going to introduce me to competitive shooting, which is not something, I'll be honest, I've never done competitive shooting of any type, so it's going to be interesting. I'm really keen. Let's see, so obviously went and tested the Ruger American Ranch, mixed results. So I had the Delta optical titanium 4.5 to 30 on there, which is what I'll leave on. I'm going to make some more hand loads, some hunting hand loads with, let's see, I've actually, I've got some 70 grain spear hot cores, so I'll make some, and I think I might also have some soft point Sierras. I don't think so, but I'll use the Sierra hot cores anyway to make up some hunting loads and have a go at that. Now let's have a look at some targets. So so yeah. So Sierra Match Kings, I've got like that. So Sierra Match Kings, the first group, the first group was of 24 grains, was 1.3. 24.5 grains, I was actually, I don't know, something bizarre happened. I don't know, I couldn't figure out where it was, because some of these holes are really tiny at distance. So this was all at 100 metres. 25 grains is 0.69. So for whatever reason, 25 grains of Varget AR2208 seems to be like the magic number, because that's, I think that is the smallest group that I shot, 0.69 with 25, so that's 5 shots with 25 grains of AR228 Varget, 0.69. Let's see, then 25 and a half, I haven't actually measured it, god damn. 25 and a half, 25, whoops, targets are blown everywhere. 25 and a half, I got 1.26. 26, I got 26 grains, I got 0.95, which is okay. Under an inch with this 16-inch barrel, yeah, not a problem. Then, so that was the 69 grain Sierra Match Kings. Then I went to the, so these are 2 hand lays that I did. Then I went to the 55 grain Hornady VMAXs, and I started with, what did I start with? Yeah. Oh yeah. So I started at 25 and I got, what, 0.895, again 25 grains under an inch. 25 and a half, I got 1.5 inches. So this, man, this was so hard to see. because it was really overcast for quite a long time, and this must have been when I was over, and I've actually shot this target twice. So a combination of 25.5 grains and 26 grains. So there's 10 shots there, 1.67. Then 26 grains, 1.38. And then, this is factory ammo now. So this is Buffalo River factory ammo. They're 55 grain Sierra Game Kings. I don't know what the powder is, but I got 1.465, 1.770, 1.238, 1.43, all 5 shots at 100 metres, 110 yards. So I don't know what the makeup of that cartridge is. They're probably pretty hot. Then I had a little bit of 2 brands of factory ammo left that I thought, well, I might as well just shoot him off. Federal Power Shock, 2 inches. So I sort of had I had 6 left, so I shot all 6 off. I was aiming there and went up there. So I've got one group of 4 and a group of 2. That group of 4 is like half an inch or so, whatever, but it's one group, so yeah, 2 inches. It was a bit weird. Remington High Performance, High Performance, 3 inches. There, I had 10 left. I shot one group and went, I'm not shooting another group. That's shit. So, then after I shot that Remington group, which was 3 inches, and that Federal Power Shot group, which was 2 inches, I thought, you know what? Let me just check. So I went to the because I had some hand loads. So I shot 2, 4. There's 6 there. So there's 6 shots in .98. This particular hand load is a really old hand load. It's like 5 years old, and the bullet seating is all over the place. So, but still less than an inch. So this rifle, yeah, it'll shoot less than an inch at 100 yards easy. You know, 100 meters. So I've got a, I was hoping it would come yesterday, but it didn't. So it actually came this morning. I've got a Wilson Combat A2 birdcage flash hider that I'm going to put on. Now let's discuss the rifle itself. So last episode I said that I had a magazine called an MFT. I don't know who makes it. MFT. And that when I had that 7615 Remington pump action, this didn't work in it. It wouldn't strip rounds at all. It just ran over the top of it. The pump action bolt. This thing, it works. So now I've got 3 magazines. I only took 1 PMag and the MFT to test it out. Yeah, so that MFT works. If you see MFT M16 style mags, they will work in a Ruger American. I don't know about anything else. Sorry, I need a drink. I'm having a gin and tonic. Rolder. Yes. Takes me back when I was in the Raj. Yeah. Classic British colonial drink. Very nice though on a hot day. So the rifle itself, how would I describe it? Rough. You know, yeah, the bolt is ground and smooth. Yes, the inside of the action is ground and smooth. Is the cycling smooth? No. It's clunky. When you strip that foot, so I was only loading 5 rounds in these magazines, so there was only, well, potentially only half the amount of tension on the round that's on the top. And the next round, this thing was like, you could feel it riding over, you could feel that bolt riding over the top of the next round. I don't know if that's the same thing for the Ruger patent magazine rifles as well, but as far as this Stanag Mag model, yeah. And the other thing is you can't finesse it. Like, you know, I'll compare it to a Hauer, alright, because they're actually of a similar price. The Hauer is actually cheaper. I'll compare it to that Hauer mini action that I had, and I've still got a 3006 Hauer. How would I compare the two actions? It's like, yeah, it's like driving a high. How I would compare to a high performance vehicle. This is what I would compare to a high performance vehicle with one wheel missing. That's what it's like. It's really, really, yeah. You can't finesse it. With the Hauer, you can finesse it. You can just, you know what? You can just push that round slowly and it'll feed in no problems. Really easy. Lock really easy. Lift it up really easy. Ejection, extraction and ejection, you just ease it out. You can just ease it out. Alright? With this thing, there's no finessing. You gotta slam it and reef it open to get it to work properly. You can't finesse. I tried finessing it. No, fail. I was getting cases failing to feed. One thing about ejection, this rifle is actually dangerous to anyone who's sitting on the right hand side of it, because it ejects like a mongrel. It just shoots them out. So ejection, not a problem. I didn't have a problem with extraction or ejection, which is always a good sign, because one of the biggest problems that people have with firearms is extraction and ejection. And I'm not talking just budget firearms. I'm talking Seikos. You know, you have a look. You Google extraction problems or ejection problems, extraction problems, and you will see a multitude of brands and price brackets. So it's not just budget rifles that have problems with it. This, it does not have a problem with extraction, does not have a problem with ejection. But you cannot finesse it. You get it. She likes to play rough. I'll put it to you that way. That's an analogy, alright? Sorry. I know it's probably inappropriate, but that's quite literally what this gun wants. It wants to be, yeah. It wants to be, yeah, used rough. Because that's the only way you're going to get it to cycle properly. Is that a bad thing? Well, no. I mean, it's not a range gun, you know. You're not going to be target shooting with the thing. It's a hunting rifle. So, you know, especially when that adrenaline's pumping, you know, you're amongst it, amongst a herd of pigs or whatever. That adrenaline's pumping, and you're not going to have any problem cycling the thing. All right, you're not going to be finessing it under those circumstances. So it's not a big deal, but I just wanted to point that out. And anyone who says or tries to even suggest that these things are smoother than Hauers is talking shit. I'll just come right out and say that. There is not one Hauer that I've had that is not smoother than this. They were all heaps smoother than this. And even with magazine Hauers, okay? So I've had the Legacy Sports magazine in my Hauers, in 6.5 Creedmoor, in the mini action, in a 308, and I've also had AICS magazines. I had it in the 243, and which other one? I can't remember now. But so I've had all different types of magazines in Hauers, and you could finesse them, you know, without exception. I could finesse all of them. The bolts are super smooth. They locked up easy. This thing, there was times when lockup was a bit tight, like putting it in a battery and that. These things are not in the same league as Hauers. I'll just come right out and say it. They're not. Hauers are a cut above this. Yeah, without exception. You know, I don't know. Maybe you've had a Ruger American that is, you know, really whatever, but you know, with the Hauer, the bolt doesn't ride over the top of next round, alright? Regardless of whether it's a magazine rifle or an internal magazine rifle. It just doesn't happen. This thing, yes, alright? It's clunky, you really got to manhandle it. Yeah, you know what? It serves a purpose. It's a hunting rifle, okay? Simple as that. It's a hunting rifle, you know? There's no finessing. There's no need to finesse it. So anyway, that's enough. So anyone out there who's a real Ruger American aficionado, like I've been watching Hootie Who. I know if you've not watched his channel, watch his channel. He's a top guy. Hootie Who, WHO-TEE-WHO, Hootie Who. You know, he's an absolute Ruger American fanboy, through and through. Pardon me. He says it all the time. And he has Howers too. He likes Howers. You know what? Maybe I should comment on his next video and say, Hootie, if you know what, if you were given the choice of having a Ruger American or a Hower, which would you choose? I have a funny feeling that he'd say a Ruger American. I think he's just totally enamored with them. But I can tell you right now, they're in it. You know, there's things about this rifle that I prefer to, like I said, to the Hower. Tang safety, you know, I can put Stanag mags in it, but yeah, the Hower's just more refined. It really is, you know. And like one guy on one of my last comments that I read, for I can't remember what, and he said, "Oh no, I've got a Hower mini action that's got zipper." And I was like, well, I'm really surprised. I've never had a Hower that had zipper going on, like when you're cycling, zipping sound. So, all in all, yeah, for a 16-inch barrel, yeah, I've found what it likes. It likes, well, it did okay with, let's see, what's the smallest 69 grain? The smallest 69 grain is the smallest 69 grain was 0.69, so that was actually the smallest group. The next smallest group was 0.895, which was a 55 grain. But generally speaking, the 69 grainers perform better, I think, overall. So 25 grains. So I've got those 70 grain spear hot cores. I'll put 25 grains of Varget AR228 in some cases and make some hunting loads and test them out later on. I'll leave this scope on there just for testing purposes. Alright, so I had this rifle and I had this other one that I took to the range. Swap them over. All in all, how would I rate the Ruger out of 10? I'd rate it a 6. 6.5. There you go, 6.5. Because it works, and you can get in sub-inch groups at times, but yeah, I wouldn't go higher than that. So this is my Savage Model 25. Savage Model 25 trigger nightmare. So what I did, because I still wasn't happy with the trigger, I went and bought you won't believe this, another Jard. Jard actually make a replacement trigger. It's a drop-in trigger, and it actually looks remarkably like the stock trigger. But this thing is, oh, I forgot how many ounces it is. How many ounces is it? Let me measure it. I think it's like, what does it say here? So here, how many ounces it is? I think it's like 8 ounces. Yeah, it doesn't say. I'm pretty, because I did measure it. It was like 8 ounces, which is or less. It's not much at all. Let me tell you, not much at all. I'm gonna have some more gin and tonic. Sorry. So, the actual feel of the trigger when you pull the trigger is, yeah, it's just, you just need to think about it and it goes off. When I dropped it in last night, when I started using it, not a problem. Cycle it, you know, while it's on fire, there was no slam fires, bang, beautiful, everything was going fine. And then in the end, it developed an issue. Another jarred trigger that developed an issue. And the issue is that with it on fire, I would cycle, and when I dropped that handle down, that bolt handle down, it would decock. It wouldn't slam fire, it would decock. So I was like, what the hell? So I was recocking it and it just kept doing it. So now, what I have to do is, I might even try and show you. Oh yeah, the other thing is, so to put the bolt in and out, you have to pull the trigger. With this thing, you have to actually force it. Not too bad, but you do have to force it. So there, it decocked. Okay, so I'll cock it, and it's just decocked. Alright. So sometimes, that's with it on fire. Sometimes, yeah, that time to cock, but before it decocks. So now what I have to do is, I have to cock it, put it on safe, put the handle down. Now it's locked up. What's going on? Oh yeah, fire. And then put it on fire, and then fire. I'll go through that again. I have to cock it on fire, put it on safe, put the handle down, put it on fire, fire. If I don't do that, it decocks. It doesn't slam fire, it just decocks. Which is irritating, but considering that, you know, you're not going to be, this isn't a rifle that you're going to be rapid firing, alright, at all. In fact, this is the rifle that I'm taking tomorrow to do that bench rest shooting. This and my CZ 457 with the massive barrel in the Oryx stock. I haven't got it here right now. So those two. So I'm going to be doing rimfire and also centerfire. So this is, and I said to him, "Can I shoot this?" And he said, "Yeah." Yeah, I don't know if there's a restriction on like caliber for the centerfire bench rest or whatever, but man, this is the most accurate rifle I've got, so I'm going to take this. Now, one thing about it, I bought this Firewolf 10-40 by 56E scope, and I had high hopes for it, and yeah, not happening. The reason being that the glass, everything about it is great. Like, I mean, everything about it is excellent, except for the glass. The glass is shit. Alright? I'm not getting chromatic aberration around the edges or anything like that. It's just, it's not clear. It's just not clear. Like, even at 100 meters, you know, the image is, I look through that, you know, I look through the delta, and then I look through this, and it's like a sudden fog hit, you know. It's, yeah. So I wasted my money with this thing. It's a piece of crap. It's not a piece of crap, it's just, it's not, yeah, it's not good enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this stupid thing off, and I'm going to use my Nico Sterling 10-50 Hornet on both rifles, both the rimfire 22 and on this. I'll just swap them over when the competition swaps over. I'll leave these rings on, and because there's nothing wrong with the rings, and yeah, I'll use that that Hornet. The glass on that, there's nothing wrong with that glass. That glass is good. The glass on this, it's rank. Yeah. So what I might actually do is down the track, I'm going to buy another Hornet another 10 to 50 Nato Sterling Hornet and put it on this. Because, and people would say, oh man, why are you putting such a high-powered scope on on a 17 Hornet? Well, because you can actually go to some distance with this, at least a couple hundred meters. I mean, those pills are travelling at 36, 50 feet per second. That's the Hornety super performance stuff. 36, 50 feet per second. This thing can go a distance. It's hooking. So you can shoot a fair distance with this. So I'm going to be shooting 100 and 200 metres within that bentress practice. I don't think it's going to have any problems doing it. Now let me tell you, what it's really meant for is for shooting varmints, and in particular where I am, or where I'll be going, is rabbits. And rabbit's head is only that big, alright? Oh, yee! Oh mate here. That's how big a rabbit's head is. It's not very big, and if you're shooting out to 200 metres, you want to be able to see the thing. Alright, my old eyes, eh? Yeah, so I'm going to be using the Nato Sterling Hornet 10 to 50 ED. Yeah, I think it's ED. Excellent scope, $600. That's the best $600 investment I've ever made. Really, really. The ammo that I'm going to be using, probably not the best ammo. I made some hand loads just before I bought my new press, which is a pity. But I got to, powder and everything is so expensive that, or so hard. It's not expensive. It's just hard to get. Like the two shops that I normally shop at the range today, one of the guys said to me, "Oh, how are you going for primers?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Oh, what's your sort of stock levels of large rifle primers?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know, I've got about 350 left, something like that." And he said, "Yeah, well, nobody's got any." I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Well, Balls and Townsville Gun Shop, they got no large rifle primers." So, I know where they're going. They're going to bloody Ukraine, probably, along with our powders. But anyway, yeah, so be it. This uses small rifle primers, and I have got Magnum large rifle primers. So hey, if you got to use Magnum, you got to use Magnum. You just tone your load down a bit. But anyway, this thing is a laser. It really is. I can't wait to do this competition, and hopefully I can keep the target, because it's not a formal competition. I can keep the target and show it to you, and show you what this thing does. It's unreal. It really is. It's a third of an inch, quarter of an inch gun. Like once you foul it up, so I'm not going to clean it. I'm just going to leave it dirty, so I don't have to foul it up straight away. I remember John, the gunsmith from Halls, telling me, "Look, you got to keep that bore clean because it's really a small bore." Well, what I found is that if that bore's clean, it's not accurate. You got to foul that bore up, and then she's accurate. So I'm sort of tossing up whether to clean it or not, because there is going to be a half an hour of just sighting in and practice tomorrow morning before the competition starts. So I'll see how that goes, and then you got to shoot, I think, 15 little circles with a dot and two 5-shot groups, I think, whatever. Yeah, but yeah. I finally got a really good trigger, but I have to do this weird ass process. So yeah, it is what it is, but it breaks like glass. That's one thing I've got to say about the Jard triggers. They do, the actual trigger itself, I can't say anything bad about it, but these weird ass things go on, and you wonder what's going on, but anyway, so be it. So this, if you see a Firewolf 10 to 40 by 56E advertised, just avoid it. And yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So that's about it. So when I finish shooting at the range tomorrow, I'll come home and I'll show you the results. And I'm also going to start doing a reloading series. Why, you may ask, when there are so many on YouTube? Because people have asked me, they keep bugging me, can you do a reloading video, rah, rah, rah. So I'm going to do a step by step. They're only going to be short. They're not going to take too long. And I'll start from the beginning, literally my process from beginning to end. You know what? The other thing about doing that is that if I get feedback and someone says, hey, you're doing that wrong, you should be doing it this way, I'm going to say, good, all right, I'll give that a try. Because I don't know everything, you know, I don't think anyone does. Yeah, I may be old, but I don't have, you know, years and decades of experience on reloading. It's not something that I've ever really done. And it's only in recent times that I took it up, especially with calibers that you got to reload, like 458 Win Mag, and 310 Cadet, 303 British. So anyway, I'm going to do that later on. But anyway, until tomorrow afternoon, I'll see you later.